Hello everybody, it's Dwayne Hathaway with your workers' comp carrier. Thank you for being here. I'm going to talk to you today about fall prevention. The general theme for this presentation is that gravity is unforgiving. This presentation is part of our annual Home Safe for the Holidays initiative. Gobble, gobble, gobble. Happy Thanksgiving. Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas. As you can see, I've got my wreaths here. I've got some representation on the outside for the fall and Thanksgiving holiday. And then up here in the middle, there it is, a Christmas wreath. So happy holidays. We're going to cover wheels, gravity, and complacency as part of this initiative. Well, as the bulk of the initiative. And if you want more information about the initiative in its entirety, you're going to want to look back at the kickoff video put together by Van Langham, Director of Risk Management. And that came out on October 20th. So I'm excited. I know the rest of the RAMP team is excited to kick this off and hopefully prevent some accidents. Moving on. Wanted to share this with you. Construction worker dies after falling from a 5-story building. Now, just take that in for a second. Somebody died after falling, okay? Hundreds of people die every year in construction and hundreds more in general industry. It's a big deal. I read into this article and what did I see? They referenced it as an accident. That was their take. This is an accident. And I thought to myself, I don't agree. What a shame. The overwhelming majority of falls in construction and general industry are preventable. That means it was an incident. Falls, generally speaking, are not an accident. They are preventable. Therefore, they're an incident. So I want to focus today on fall prevention. What can we do to prevent falls? And in doing so, we're going to cover many things, and we'll talk about those goals in a second. For now, a little bit more about myself. Dwayne Hathaway with your work comp carrier. 18 years in construction, 4 years in workers comp. I'm learning every day, and my goal is just to support your overall HR and safety efforts as they pertain to your workers comp program. So if you need anything outside of this presentation, as always, don't hesitate to reach out. Again, goals. I said I'd touch on them. We're going to review quickly some general industry and construction OSHA standards just to refresh everybody's memory there, create a little awareness. Review some of the unforgiving consequences of gravity. Recognize what can be done to mitigate those adverse consequences. And then we're going to introduce you and your team to some free resources available through your insurance program. So what are some of OSHA's construction standards for falls? Well, at its core, fall protection is required anytime you get up over 6 feet. Now there are a few exceptions, like when you're erecting scaffolding, you don't need it until you're up over 10 feet, or if you're flying steel, erecting steel, there are some carve-outs as well. And if you're in that industry, you're going to be familiar with them. And if you're not and you need some help, just reach out and I'm here for you. Regardless, for all of these, you need to have training programs in place. Now, OSHA's construction standards for falls also include controlled access zones, and this is primarily going to apply to steel erection and roofing contractors. Safety monitoring, this is primarily used in roofing, sometimes in steel erection, especially if you're doing some decking. Warning line systems also used for roof work, found around the roof edge, flagged off, do not cross type deal, okay? And then if you make a hole in a walking working surface, you need to cover it. Okay, what are some of the general industry OSHA standards? Well, in general industry, right off the bat, take 2 feet off. It's 4 feet. Anytime you get up over 4 feet, you need to have some sort of fall protection in place. There are some carve-outs for when you're working on trucks. If you get up on top of some sort of trailer, a pneumatic trailer, end dump trailer, and you're up over 4 feet, you don't have to have fall protection. Now there are some carriers out there, trucking carriers, that put railings in place and have different personal fall protections available to their employees, and those are best in class employers when it comes to safety, but it is not required in most instances. And then anytime you're on an aerial lift, fall protection is generally going to be required. All right, so the unforgiving consequences of gravity. This was a video, it's on YouTube, and you can find it under construction worker, fall from height. This gentleman here, you can see him falling from the platform. He's holding a white blueprint in one hand and is upside down. Still got his hard hat on, fortunately, but you can tell he's on his way down. This may have cost this guy his life. He didn't look too good when he hit the ground, but boy, the consequences of gravity, they are unforgiving, okay? So to reinforce those unforgiving consequences, 400 of the nearly 1,000 fatalities that were recorded in 2019 were falls to a lower level. And that's just construction. In general industry, there were nearly 1,000, well, closer to 900 fatalities from falls. What could have been done to mitigate that accident we just saw, or the gentleman falling from height with the blueprint? What could have been done? Well, he could have had personal fall protection on. It looked like he was wearing a harness. Was there a D-ring he could have connected a lanyard to? Was there a safety line that he could have connected a lanyard to? There wasn't a mid-rail there, because I watched the video and he fell right down through the top rail onto his back. Terrible looking fall. But if a mid-rail had been there around knee height, that probably would have been enough to stop him from falling. A net could have been placed below as well, and that would have helped with fall arrest. Now, the first option we talked about was personal fall arrest. If you're going to use personal fall arrest, it needs to be well thought out. You need to consider fall distance calculations. I'm not going to get into the particulars here, but you can see there's a little bit that goes into it, okay? Fall protection needs to be well thought out, and that's why we got to have a fall protection plan in place. Secondly, a mid-rail installation. We talked about the mid-rail. You see here, you can have metal mid-rails, wood mid-rails, but anytime you're going to use a guardrail system, you're going to have a top rail, mid-rail, and then you need to have a toe board or kick plate on the bottom to stop tools and other miscellaneous items from falling below. Again, if you need help with any of this, just holler at me. Lastly, we talked about the use of safety nets. You should really only explore this option when other methods have been exhausted or just clearly impractical, which in this instance was not the case, because we could see other workers wearing personal fall arrest and a mid-rail would have helped. So the net's not practical, but it is an option. Again, I can't emphasize more that my role is a support role. If there's anything I can help with in the realm of HR and safety as it pertains to workers' compensation, please reach out. We offer a comprehensive online compliance platform called the Risk Management Center. And as it pertains to fall prevention, it is stock full of resources. Here are just some of the training materials available. Fall protection videos, fall protection plans, slip, trip, and fall videos, all sorts of training modules, safety meetings, PowerPoint presentations, you name it. It is chock full and just waiting for you to utilize. It is one of the leading online learning management systems in the country, and we would love to see y'all using this. Other resources are available through OSHA.gov, fall prevention, protection, safety meetings. There's a bunch of fact sheets available that take pages and pages of code and put it into 1 or 2 understandable pages that you can present to the workforce or with your crews. And you can visit OSHA.gov publications by any topic. This specifically is fall prevention, but you see the link here. So guys, if you're out on a job site today, get on your smartphone if you want to dig in and learn a little bit more about fall prevention. Concluding, if there's a fall on one of your job sites, call MedCall. It's a tele-emergent virtual medicine resource that we provide to all of our policyholders, and we strongly encourage you, if there's an incident of any sort, not just a fall, pick up the phone. You will have access to an emergency room physician with at least 10 years of experience in a matter of minutes. It's a great resource, and I can't encourage you more to use it. Listen, if somebody falls and they are catastrophically injured, call 911 and then get on the horn with MedCall. This physician can advise you whether to move the injured worker, not move the injured worker, refresh your crew and anybody on site in first aid measures. It's a great resource. You can download it at the App Store on the iPhone or Android. Easy to use, no registration. You've already been registered. If you're a policyholder on this webinar right now, you're already registered. Again, it's available at the App Store. Thank you for being here today. I would open it up for questions, but this isn't live. So if you have any, give me a call at 941-545-8560 or shoot me an email on the email address where you found this video. Thank you. We appreciate your participation in this initiative, and if you need more information on the overall initiative, you should visit the October 20th kickoff video by Van Langham, Director of Risk Management. Gobble, gobble, gobble. Happy Thanksgiving. Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas. Get home to your families. Have a great day. Stay safe.